Hi, everybody. I can't believe that we're actually doing this. Tanya, we're actually here getting stuff organized. I just can't believe it. So,
Beautiful.
this is my friend Tanya Casole-Gouveia. Did I say it right?
Nailed it.
Look at me. We are friends from CBC Sports, and I decided to try and figure out this whole streaming thing to do split screen interviewing on Facebook. And God bless Tanya, she's decided to be my guinea pig for today. So my daughters are going to watch here shortly and send us a comment. Let me see. I'm going to bring up the comment thing so that I can see. We have two viewers. Bless
Oh,
them.
hi
So they're still
everyone.
in the will. So let's talk a little bit about you. So you and I know each other. You are a social media maven. You are somebody who knows all kinds of tricks. And let's just see. We've got one comment. Let me see if I can show you the comment.
Oh,
How
thanks,
about that?
Amanda.
Thanks for joining, Amanda. You're still in the will. Okay. So I am posting live right now on Facebook Live. This is a new piece of software for me, and it's something that I want to try and use during the pandemic to interview people. Oh, here comes another comment. Let's just see if you like this one. You do look great. Okay. And oh, Amanda has another comment for you.
Oh, yes. Doesn't it look like I'm in a nice log cabin?
Where are you?
It's just it's like a facade. I'm in a facade, so it's just like a nice accent wall, but
My life,
have a nice
my life
home
is a
cabin
facade. I
vibe.
should I should have closed my closet door. So tell me a little bit about you. Tell me about how you came to be the social media goddess that you are, and just kind of what's going on.
Well, it all started back in the day. I don't know. I've always loved being, actually, you know what is funny? I feel like I created social media. Hear me out.
Okay.
Because I went to my high school, my 15-year high school reunion in May, and I went through all my old like yearbooks and stuff, but I also had all these old scrapbooks with like pictures and all my little mementos and like comments. And I was like, oh, this is basically like a Facebook page, but like in real life in hard copy. And so it was just like obviously people scrapbook and stuff, but like it's kind of very transferable. It's just about sharing, your memories. So when I went to university in Waterloo, very, very tech centric school. I worked, did co-ops at RIM where I was just like in 2007, 2008, where I was, on that BlackBerry, like the, Canada's darling company, had the
I
best
miss
smart.
BlackBerry.
Yeah. It's still kicking, sort of.
I know, but I need the keyboard. That's what I miss about it.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. So yeah, I was just when I graduated, I had like the best smartphone on the market at the time. I love social media. Like I got Facebook like in 2006, so pretty early adopter of that. And then it was just, doing community management and just being really into sharing and then having the opportunity to work on my first Olympics with Sochi. And then kind of it just after that just snowballed from, and then I got that job through working as a community manager through another friend. So just like how you can trace your life through different, oh, that one moment that led to this. And knowing that person made me meet this person and this person. Now I work at CBC and now I, even hosting art battle and stuff came from like the same person who got me the job at CBC. So it's just a funny, life is funny.
Now tell me about Art Battle because you did
Mhm.
two back-to-back events on Thursday. I hosted my very first watch party for your.
Yeah.
I know. Wait, live on. I did this wrong. Open mic online.
Online,
With
online mic night.
online mic night. There you go. If you look at the crawler at the bottom of your screen, you're going to see that online mic night is the Facebook page that you're looking for. And every Thursday at 9 p.m., you're introducing new talent. You did two back-to-back events this past Thursday. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So basically, two different things. Art Battle is a live competitive painting event, and it started in Toronto, like in real life. And it's live competitive painting. Our 8 artists paint for 20 minutes, and then the audience votes on who they like. And so I host that in real life. It's so funny you have to say in real life, but uh, as a
You did
monthly
today.
event, as a monthly event in Toronto. I've hosted it for 5 years. It's now global. It's all over the world now. And so through the pandemic, they've decided to bring it online where they have 8 painters competing in a night. And so on Thursday, I was one of the live hosts of that from 7 to 8 p.m. And then I do an online mic night, whereas in real life, for the past 2 years, I've been doing a once a month open mic night. So it's just, I find the artists, I invite people just show up on the night because, open mics, people are always looking to play live music. But I've been doing that under the brand Open Mic Night. And then I had one the first week I went to quarantine, like I guess 4 or 5 weeks ago now. I had one already booked for the Thursday night. And so instead of canceling it, I was like, okay, I'll just move it online. And so I learned a live stream software like you're doing yourself. And it was really successful. So I was like, I guess I'm going to do this weekly now. And so now I have a weekly show. And thank you so much for tuning in. And because Art Battle and we were both at 8 o'clock on Thursday, but they wanted me to start hosting. So they've moved theirs to 7 to 8, and then I'm 9 to 11. So it's a lot, but it's not as the heavy lifting is more so for my show. With the Art Battle, I kind of just plug in and it just kind of works itself.
So, when you say competitive painting, I don't really understand what you mean by that. Is there a theme? Do you say this week is sort of still life, or this week is, or how does it work?
Yeah. So artists basically apply. They say they want to be part of it, and then if selected, then they meet on the specified night, whether in real life or online, and they paint. They have 20 minutes to paint whatever they want. We used to have more restrictions, like they couldn't use references and they had to use just acrylic on canvas. But now they can use pencils, they can use markers, they can use anything really like non-mechanical. They could actually use spray paint now. We've opened it up a little bit, but it's never really themed. They kind of can paint whatever they want, and they just have to do it in 20 minutes. The only restriction is time, really. And then we have the Art Battle app, so it's on the Google Play and App Store, and basically you can watch online, you can vote for your favorite artist online and your favorite painting as well. All paintings created are up for silent auction. So we ship all over the world, so you can bid on a piece of art that you saw created and have it in your living room, basically, or your bathroom, wherever you want to hang art.
Yeah, it's none of your business where people want to hang art, Missy. Hold on 1 second. Another comment, just a sec.
Great.
Okay, Bo Cordell, whom you don't know, brand new dad who lives, I can't remember where you live, Bo, but someplace near the water. I want to say South Carolina, maybe. Anyway, he is a technician extraordinaire. I've worked with him on 2 or 3 Olympic Games plus other events, and he's even worked on the Super Bowl.
Whoa.
I know, he's hardcore, and he said our stream looked great. Thank you, Bo, for that, honestly. When you say that you ship all over the world, how do you get the artwork now that we're in this kind of pandemic mode?
It's just a lot of just connecting. I don't actually do that part. I just show up and I host. It's like a good gig. That's where all my fun outfits, if you've seen on my Instagram, if I'm wearing like a hot gown or a nice, sparkly shirt or something, it's probably from hosting Art Battle. So we have a great team that does all that administrative back end, booking the artists. We're in all these different cities, so it is kind of we have connections all over the world now, because there's producers in every city that we live or that we are
located in.
Yeah, they're the ones, they kind of just take on the Art Battle name and produce the events on our behalf. Basically, we just provide them with the tools.
So let's talk a little bit about online mic night.
Cool.
There's so much talent out there, especially in Toronto. Oh my goodness. I mean, you could go out every night of the week and see new musicians, new comedians, new dancers, new everything. Yeah. So if they wanted to connect with you, if somebody wanted to audition to be on your show on Thursdays, how would they do that?
Sure. It's mostly just been really word of mouth. Like, I know a lot of artists just because from doing the open mics and just being in that artistic community. I have a lot of connections. And so just kind of putting the word out, word of mouth is great. People sharing. So thank you so much for sharing. That's super helpful, of course. And I've been posting in different Facebook groups as well. Like there's online or open mic night groups that I've posted. And so just people reaching out and connecting. And it's not too much of an audition. It is a bit more curated, I would say, though. Like I want talent. And
you don't want me singing.
It's not open, like it's an open mic, but it's an online mic night. So it's the open is kind of, it's not so open, but it's not
a concept.
Pardon?
It's a concept.
Yeah, it's just like reach out, basically, send me a message, and then I usually just ask people to send me some samples of their music. Like if you have, a video, it's so easy to have a video. It's kind of a red flag if you don't have a video of you playing, if you know what I mean. So send me a video as well. I get people to do an internet speed test. So you might run into that when you're doing your streams where someone else's internet or the bandwidth isn't there, and then their stream's choppy, and you just want a good experience for, especially with music, you want very good audio, more important than the video personally. So I always get them to do an internet speed test at like speedtest.org or fast.com, and then I can just see if they have the upload and download speed that I need.
What do you think about everybody being a content creator now?
I'm into it. Yeah, it's the scrapbook of our lives, right? It's just everyone's a consumer, so why shouldn't everyone? I think because I also go to Burning Man, so the sort of the one of the 10 principles of Burning Man is like, participate, don't be a spectator. You're not there to watch. Like anyone and everyone has something to offer and can create. So why not? Some people obviously are better than others. Depending, whatever, it's your art, so it's subjective, but I think everyone has a story, everyone has something to contribute, and yeah, anyone can do it. So I think it's power to it, because if everyone's a creator, everyone is also consuming. So
it's so interesting out there in the world because people feel that non-creators, even, they feel that they all have an opinion and they're entitled to sort of voice their opinion on social media about just about everything. What do you think about some of the negativity? How do you think that we can counteract that?
The negativity is the worst, because no matter what, like I'm the type of person who 25 great comments, one nasty one, and I'll remember the nasty one. To this day, one of my first videos I released I had a music duo called Side Pony Nation, and we released a video, and there were such great comments, and then one just something about my body, like a negative about my body, and it just like stuck with me. Like I could still remember what the comment was, and like it's hurtful, but you do have to, I think from within, you have to just realize it doesn't matter, and realize who those people are that are making those nasty comments. They might not be in a good place themselves.
Yep.
Or just like a jealousy thing, or like people just want to put you down if they see you doing something. Hate is really love in a lot of ways. Like they like what you're doing so much, or they wish they could do what you're doing, or they're mad at you for doing what they wish they could do. So you kind of just got to take it with a grain of salt as best you can. And I think that you get a thicker skin with age, or with doing it, or just some people are just born with, they're just like, I don't give an F, and I'm just doing me, and it doesn't matter what people think. And for better or worse, that's good.
Is that the same F as stay the F home? Is that the same one?
Yeah, all the same Fs. The Fs are pretty. It's EFF though. It's.
I know it's not naughty in the same way.
Yeah.
Do you think that I'm really excited about the fact that if the software works the way that it seems to be, which is wonderful, I want to be putting out a series of interviews kind of on a weekly basis, talking to all kinds of different people about all kinds of different things. What I love about having been home for this last month, aside from being able to spend extended time with my daughter Carolyn the cook, who better still be watching. It's been a wonderful chance to really learn some new things, to sort of accept where we are. There's not anything we can do about this. So I've read a great series of blogs on sort of the whole idea of acceptance and what to do. And for those of you in the figure skating world, you'll know Dr. Julia Elaine. If you go to wellsense.net. Dr. Julia is posting blogs on an almost everyday basis, talking about things that we can do for ourselves to help ourselves feel better, acknowledging the fact that people are very anxious and that this is a fearful time when people don't know what's going to happen next. But I think that there have been some upsides. One is having to think your way through a problem a little bit differently, like dinner. Sometimes if I didn't feel like cooking dinner, I'd go out. Yeah. Guess what I'm not doing right now, right? So what are some of the upsides for you?
Well, PJ, I feel like there's a lot of them, honestly. I have a dog now. I'm staying at my boyfriend's, so now I have this little cutie that is, it's nice having a pet. I do really enjoy working from home, and I'm one of the lucky ones who I still have my CBC job. I'm still able to work. So that is, a stress that I don't have to deal with. So that's lucky. And I do enjoy working in my pajamas. I will say that. And for me personally, I was spending a lot of money going out, and I did know I wanted to not work from home. I wanted to bake, or not bake. Yeah, bake. I've been
Be at
baking.
home more.
I wanted to cook more. I wanted to, that's what I really, I wanted, because I know I have those skills within me, but I've never had to use them because I've always been like, I grew up with a family of like people who can cook, like my grandparents, my parents, like I've always had these really good cooks around me. So I feel like I've never needed to because someone else did it for me. And so I wanted to hone those skills a bit more. And last night I did this really awesome. I was literally cooking for 6 hours yesterday. I made an apple pie. I made like a plank salmon. I did scalloped potatoes in the crock pot. I did some asparagus. And a salad. And so I was literally cooking for like 6 hours for like an hour of eating, but now I have food for the next few days. So it's just been fun. And now honestly, I have a weekly show now, and I didn't have that before. And that's been really cool too. So there's a lot of upsides. It's going to be tough if it's really nice and sunny and beautiful out, and we have to be inside though, I will say.
I've got a backpack.
Yeah, we have a balcony.
So makes it easier. Not being able to get outside, I think, would be really hard. But as I said, there are much harder things that are out there. I was reminiscing across the fence with my neighbor who's got 2 little kids, and we were talking about the fact that the parents who have children who are, let's say, 7 and older, it's really tough for them.
Yeah, they're teachers now. Yeah.
My friend's a teacher, and she's having to sort of post stuff online. But again, it's interesting to see how resourceful people are. There's a little bakery in my neighborhood that is just, she's doing the baking at the shop, didn't want the shop to stay open because she was feeling nervous about, keeping things sanitized and disinfected. So she sanitizes herself and drives around neighborhood selling goods. So like customizing orders and that kind of thing. I mean, I'm very impressed by some of the innovative strategies people are applying. Noreen Cook, nice to see you. I'm glad you didn't miss us. And Murray Anderson. Okay, I got to tell you a quick story. Murray Anderson plays music at the most elite competitions sort of in the world, including the Olympic Games. And we have known each other for, oh goodness, a very long time. Anyway, he's out in Victoria. So Murray, thank you for joining in. This is amazing. And Murray,
open mic night.
I was just going to say, Murray, you got to make sure that you check out Tanya at the online on Facebook at 9:00. You're going to love it.
Yeah.
So tell me what you think that the sports world is, how it's suffering, how you think it's going to come back. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, yeah, we've been busy at CBC, right? Because of the last, it's calmed down a little bit, but the first 2 weeks when everyone was like, oh, no one's working, everyone's bored, that was when they were deciding whether they were going to postpone the Olympics or not. And so that was really, really busy. I think it's okay now that everything's on pause, it might, this season might be canceled. This season is probably, who knows what's going to happen, right? No one's canceled yet. Everyone's still holding out hope. If it's canceled, it's canceled. But it's been nice seeing the different side of the sports stars, because now, which I like, the more social aspect, you get hockey players, you don't really hear from them or get their personalities very much. They have that sort of hockey player, mentality, yeses and nos, grunts in their interviews. But now you're seeing them, their more social side, and you're just seeing them in a different light. People are sharing, a lot of the Olympians are sharing their at-home workouts and things like that, and sharing their struggle. And it's just weird how, everything is now going to be defined by the pre-pandemic and the post-pandemic, right? And so even with us and all of our Olympic content, we're now working behind the scenes, trying to get that stuff out earlier, because or re-editing, because we're going to have to shoot more and tell those stories of like how that pandemic aspect affected the training in, you know, when the Olympics do happen in 2021. So a pause is okay. You know, it's not the end of the, well, it seems like the end of the world, but it's not the end of the world. And so, yeah, I think who knows what's going to happen, because even they're talking like the UFC wants to do their private island fights, which it's like all, it doesn't matter what the leagues want. It's what the health officials are going to say. Right. So it's going to be interesting to seeing what happens depending on how far this goes, and who will sort of maybe break the rules a bit, or go against the grain, and what the sort of public will say about it. So, I like the aspect of showing past things though, and like reliving, you know, old events. And we're showing Olympic Games replays on CBC Olympics, like old things that you, for the 2016 games and things like that. So that's kind of nice to relive those moments.
Anybody have any questions for Tanya before we sort of get ready to wrap it up? Come on, somebody's got to be here. There's somebody. Just one question, just as kind of a test.
I'll give you a fun fact of two things that that sort of ingenuity and creativity you're talking about.
Okay.
Is like my boyfriend, he's a computer engineer, and his company Wondermaker, they do like experiential marketing products. So they're not really doing many events or anything like that, but they have 3D printers. So he's mobilized now his 3D printers. There, 2 of them are at our place, and he's making like masks, like for frontline workers. He's just printing like sort of the headband part where they put like the plastic on to keep like a barrier to patients. So, you know, people are being creative in pivoting to sort of help, you know, fuel the positive things about, you know, for frontline workers, or things that help to heal the pandemic.
That help.
Yeah.
Things that help. Full stop. Well, and as you go back to sort of the sports stars too, we see lots of stories about just how generous many of the sports stars are. You know, the MLSE people sort of helping to make sure that the people within, not Air Canada Centre, what's it called?
Scotiabank Arena.
I've only lived here my whole life.
It's still the Sky Dome, okay?
Yeah, there is that one too. It will always be the Sky Dome, but that they are doing things to sort of help make sure that the workers there can continue. I mean, I'm really inspired by those stories, to say the least. I think that it's quite wonderful, and it's a display of not just what I have, but making sure that my neighbor also has. And yeah. I think that's the part that's really really exciting. Okay, so there's no questions, but I will show you a comment. Amanda Kwong is a top fan, but Carolyn Kwong is not a top fan. I'm not sure why.
Shots fired.
I know. Sisters, right? Well, listen, last word belongs to you.
PJ, thanks so much for doing this. Thanks for always being such a positive person to work with, personally and professionally. I'm glad we finally got our chat, and I can't wait till your show is up and running.
Me too, my friend. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everything. Bye for now, everybody. Guess what? You're going to see me at least once a week on this. I think it worked out.
Yeah, I think so.
Bye for now. Thanks, Tanya.
Bye.